Hello everyone, I am Surrendalot Reviews, and I'm back, and I'm ready to look at some more Generation 1 Transformers. But before I get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if I can't convince you, perhaps this picture of my cat will convince you. And, random fact about my cat society is that they hand out tax cuts to people who actually topple the government. But without further ado, let's get into this! So, the first episode we're gonna look at is Masquerade, where the Autobots disguise as the Stunticons to figure out what the Decepticons are up to. Without further ado, let's get into this! So, the episode starts out with the Stunticons going around stealing some things from the humans for some reason. But luckily, the Autobots managed to capture the Stunticons in these scenes here.
He's gonna jeopardize the mission! Time to add fire to the fuel! I'm burning! I'll probably hate myself in the morning, but... It's all up to me now. A flying car! How droll! I can't see! According to Teletron 1, Motormaster should be coming down this road right about now. Well, look who's here! The old king of the road! When I'm finished with you, you'll be king of the junkyard!
Optimus, you're not gonna play chicken with that recall model, are you?
He's got no choice, Spike. Motormaster's gotta be stopped. I've been waiting for this a long time, Prime!
Optimus! I can't see anything!
I'm not getting any radio response. Hey, something's moving in there. I see something too. But is it Motormaster or... Yay!
No! It's Optimus Prime!
All right!
He's okay!
And so, the Stunticons are taken prisoner, and Optimus Prime has an idea to disguise him and a few of the Autobots as the Stunticons to see what Megatron is up to. And they do that, and they go to where the Decepticons are right now, which is a meteor crater. But unfortunately, the Stunticons manage to escape, and they've merged into Menasor. And they go to warn Megatron that the other Stunticons are not who they say they are. And as it turns out, Megatron is building a massive cannon that does something. And the other Menasor ends up arriving to where the Decepticons and the fake Menasor is, and they end up fighting. And fake Menasor loses, and, well, this here happens.
Seconds more.
And the rest of the Autobots show up, and the Decepticons retreat, and the episode ends. And overall, I will say that Masquerade is, I guess, a pretty interesting episode. I guess the last part where Ironhide says how he tampered with the ruby and tampered with the parts was kind of just added on at the last minute because the writers realized that, oh, we kind of wrote ourselves into a corner, but other than that, I thought the episode was pretty interesting on how the Autobots were trying to disguise themselves as the Stunticons to basically see what the Decepticons are up to. But I kind of wonder, what if, say, that line wasn't there? I mean, I guess you could have kind of interpreted it in a way as in, Megatron will do almost anything for power, but ultimately his lust for power will kind of come back to bite him. I kind of wonder what that would have been like, but other than that, I thought the episode was interesting, and as much as we didn't see Optimus Prime become a combiner, not until much later at least, I will say that was quite interesting, and I wish we got to see more episodes like this. But, without further ado, on to the next episode, which is the Trans-Europe Express, where the Autobots basically enter a race. Again, without further ado, let's get into this! So, the episode starts out with the Decepticons searching for something, and by searching I mean wrecking the whole city of Istanbul, and they end up finding out where that something is, and that something is a pearl, and apparently there's a curse with it, and they find it in a valley, but unfortunately the valley is big, so they have to use Rumble to get it. Meanwhile, the Autobots are joining a race, which is the Trans-Europe 2000, and they're really joining the race to protect this jerk. And by this jerk, what I really mean is his car, because apparently his car has some sort of energy source that the Decepticons might want. And so the race is on. And Megatron, fearing that the Trans-Europe 2000 might interfere in his plans, sends the Stunticons to go pick the Autobots off one by one. And the Stunticons do that, except they fail with Trax and Bumblebee, and Bluestreak ends up finding somebody who can lead them to where the Decepticons are. But unfortunately, Megatron sends the Stunticons to go steal that one jerk's car, and they end up doing so, and the Decepticons end up finding that pearl, and Bluestreak ends up finding that one jerk guy, and that jerk guy decides to take control of Bluestreak. And so the Autobots end up finishing up the race, and Megatron explains his master plan.
Well, the last of the Autobots, you're just in time!
Cooking up another sleazy scheme, huh, Megatron? What's that? Something the Easter Bunny brought you?
You flippant fool! This is the power core of a weather-controlling machine from Cybertron! The machine which housed it was destroyed, and the core had been buried for millions of years! It was dug up in the 14th century. When exposed to the atmosphere, it went berserk. Cities were destroyed, so a Persian seer built this pure gold protective casing for it. The Pearl of Bahudin. To build a machine to control its power, I needed an energy-resistant metal. Fortunately, Simultech solved my problem for me when they invented an incredible alloy.
Simultech? But my engine was built...
Yes! The super-powered engine of your car is made of the metal I need. When I melt it down and use it to build a new controller for the Pearl of Bahudin, I shall be master of the very elements! And of the planet Earth as well!
Anyways, the Autobots and Decepticons fight, and in the fight, Bumblebee ends up releasing the Pearl, and it creates a massive storm. And the Stunticons merge into Menasor, and that one jerk uses his car to defeat Menasor, and Bumblebee ends up destroying the Pearl, and the episode ends. And overall, I will say that this episode was pretty middle of the road, if I'm being perfectly honest. I mean, I like how we get to see the Stunticons again, but I kinda personally think that this episode should have been a two-parter, if I'm being perfectly honest. It kind of feels like the episode did need a bit more time to, get its point across. But that's really all I gotta say about the problems with the episode. I really like the fact that the episode is set with a racetrack, and I also like how the Autobots are joining in, and how they also kind of have a side mission to go with it. And I also like how the Decepticons are basically searching for a pearl to give them ultimate power. And overall, I will say that this episode was pretty okay and pretty middle of the road. But I think with that, that's gonna do it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.